Hey love, welcome to the ChiLOVe Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. Who else would it be but me, Melanie, representing ChiLOVe? I hope all is well with you all today. We're going to continue this discussion on R. Kelly. We all know that he was found guilty of racketeering, etc. And now his lawyer has filed a motion for a bail hearing so that he can obtain bail to fight his cases from the outside. In the motion, it was found that he was not a flight risk, he won't come into contact with minors, and he will have minimized internet usage. This is all congruent to R. Kelly's willingness to work with the prosecutors to snitch on other celebrity pedophiles. So let's talk about snitching. Snitches get stitches, right? This could go a couple ways. Just on the strength that he has let it out that he is willing to talk, and because he has already been found guilty, has been in this industry a good 30 years already, he is a good candidate to, listen to, because he would know. He would know. He wasn't doing it by himself. And we know that the works of the industry is a lifestyle. And it's bigger than the industry. It's all the way up into the government. And believe me, it's more than black men who are involved. Believe me, it's more than just men who are involved. Women too. So this could rattle some cages, and they say, you know what? We don't need our names out of this. I'm not trying to have all these interviews on me and court footage and so forth. We finna get this man out. And they gonna push to get him out. He got a lot of people backing him. Bill Cosby got his back. If they said a bill, he still has so much support. If they get his man a bill, even though they saying that more than likely it's gonna be like really high or whatever, and R. Kelly doesn't have the money, he's gonna get out. People will put together a GoFundMe to get this man out. Like I see, Bill Cosby got his back. He can pay the whole thing. R. Kelly just got to make sure he, go back to court. So it can go that way. Or, because of the level of information that this man knows, and he feels betrayed. So this is personal for him. He said up in that interview with Gayle King, I gave y'all 30 years of my fucking life. You trying to kill me. He say people betray me and I keep forgiving them. When he said that, I was watching that interview at that time. And when he said, I gave y'all 30 years of my fucking life, I said, he not talking to us. I said, he talking to the industry. He's talking to the industry. Because the industry has a different lifestyle from regular people. They're not regular people. They're not regular people. Everybody is not all dark and grimy, but a lot of them are. A lot are. And a lot of the people who run things tend to be. So, it's a lifestyle. And if anybody will have the goods on who else has been participating in this activity, it will be R. Kelly. It will be R. Kelly. He will be a credible witness in this instance because he is one of them. And R. Kelly saying he gonna tell. So then it could go the other way. Okay, he get to telling, he get to dropping names, and names like Jay-Z, Jermaine Dupri, Tina Knowles, Kanye West, Usher, Queen Latifah, Will and Jada Smith, Michael Jordan, Missy Elliott. This is just like a drop of water. Them names is like a drop of water in this ocean of names that could come out. And see, it's even deeper than the celebrities. We look at the celebrities because they're the ones in front of the camera, but look at all the people who are in the background that nobody ever sees. Unless you know about their set life. It's a lot more people involved. And I know they don't want their names out. Because see, this was supposed to be a lifestyle among the industry people. And unfortunately, R. Kelly went outside and started to get regular people. He started to get regular people. And they got acclimated to it. But them being regular people knew that this was illegal and they could use this against him one day. They knew it. They knew it. Now, you probably did not expect to just get pounced on and, just beat and all that type of stuff, because that's not who Robert presents himself to be in his R. Kelly songs and videos. So I know the ladies was not expecting that type of treatment. And I feel like, me and maybe y'all should be a little more honest and say, listen, this is how it go with me. If you step out of line, I'm going to walk up the bam and let her choose. And surprisingly, it's quite a few females who will still stay. Because they with that type of stuff. They feel like they need to be checked or else they going to run all over you. That's not a woman. A woman checks herself. She don't need to be checked by daddy. She has a daddy. He raised her already. Whether he was in that home or not. But I digress. So now, I could just imagine who all would be shaking in their boots at the idea of this man talking. And y'all want to know who else will be implicated? Andrea Kelly, R. Kelly's wife. Now, she said that she did not have any knowledge of what was going on. She had nothing to do with it. She was the wife, the mother of his children. She herself was being abused, and I believe her. I believe it all because of the daddy character that R. Kelly played. All because of the bottom bitches, the harem of hoes. And, real pimps don't let they hoes act up. Which, objectively speaking, I agree with. But nevertheless, Andrea Kelly got up in that. She knew what it was. She came in as a doggone dancer. It's people who done already spoke out against her like, stop it. They said on one of the tours, R. Kelly, before she became his wife, before she became his main girl, everybody was sleeping in the bed together in the back of the tour bus. And it was a party for all. And then they say one day, the rest of the girls go sleep in the front of the bus, and Andrea and Robert are the only ones in the bed now. She won. She won the prize to be the bottom bitch. I know that R. Kelly had the females competing. That's some street shit, some pimp shit. That's another way of life. And you had your stable of hoes. And you got to keep them on their toes. And you make them compete against each other. And a lot of times the bottom bitch should get jealous if she feel like you getting close to another chick. If she feel like her spot being taken. That's why we're going to talk about Azriel Clary in another segment. But let's talk, I digress, and let's talk about this snitching. So like I said, R. Kelly said he feels like he's betrayed. He's been betrayed. He say people betray me and I keep forgiving them. Usually those are the words of a good-hearted person. Those are the words of a good-hearted person. And despite everything that's been said, it's been said that R. Kelly is a very generous man. And he try to look out for you. He reach back for you. He giving you a glimpse of life that you can only dream of. He just needs to know that you rocking back with him and it's solid. He just need to know that you rocking back with him and it's solid. That you are who you say you are. And that all should be simple. But when you messing with a lot of people who, although they are in a career field, whether that's music or whatever, people who have come from the streets a lot of times don't realize that they don't have to keep moving with those survival skills that they had to acquire while they were in the streets. And a lot of people have come from the streets and made something of themselves, and they are still imprisoned by that prior survival mentality. And R. Kelly himself still had it. Nobody was trusting nobody, but everybody wanted the love. How that's gonna work? And then one person can't do the trusting and the other person doing the manipulating. It can't be one-sided. Because still then, it's gonna blow up. So they say he was very giving, very generous. He rolled with you. He was sincere. If he said he rocked with you, that's what it was. He just wants to be accepted for who he is. Who don't want that? Who don't want to be accepted for who they genuinely are? While so many people are hiding behind these images that they've created for the public's eye, because that is what brings them their money. That's what brings them their love. But that's not who they really are. So now he willing to snitch. Can you blame him? Disloyalty does not beget loyalty, ladies and gentlemen. And when you come across a person who is loyal, they not loyal just because you are who the fuck you are. Don't nobody give a fuck about that. A person is loyal because that's a part of their character. And you just happen to receive a part of their blessing by being in their presence. But sometimes people think that I got a fool. This person love me. This person loyal to me. I could do them any way I want to do them. I could stab them in the front and the back, side to side, destroy them, and they still gonna be here because that's how good I am. Not realizing that it's not about you. It's about that person's character and who they decide that they want to be. So I could see how a lot of people would think stuff is sweet. It's crazy how you can't just talk to a person and you all agree to apply the golden rule and everything be smooth from there. Because here on this little earthly plane, a lot of people view kindness as a weakness. So now you have to show people that you are not weak. Now you putting yourself in situations where you looking at jail for life. Because you wasn't secure enough, strong enough confident enough within yourself and within the relationship between you and Mama Daddy God to be yourself and know that those who really love you and accept you for who you are is going to come and stick. So this is like a valuable lesson for not only R. Kelly, but for everybody. Because who can't relate to that in one way or another of being loyal to the wrong people? And it never turns out well. My father died being loyal to the wrong people. R. Kelly, you said that you was going to have to get yourself, let go of these clowns, and make yourself another crew. You gave yourself that advice. Get rid of the clowns and get a whole nother crew. In your song, I Wish. You didn't follow your own advice. How many situations will we avoid if we started to follow our own advice? We could give the best advice to other people. And I mean, it is effective and efficient. And they continue coming to you. But you don't follow your own advice for your own life. How many of us can relate to something like that? He been calling out for help. Heaven, I need a hug. He said keeping his head up because that was the promise he made to his daddy. Who can't relate to something like that? I mean, to his mama. I promised my daddy that I wouldn't let the world take the good out of me. And when things occur that's trying to make me go there, I remember that promise that I made to my daddy. He said he had problem after problem. He said he don't understand this place. He look in the mirror and see a troubled face. He losing his identity. He said, if Jesus loved me, why he leave my side? And see, when you got stuff like that going on the inside, and you got the woes of the world going on the outside, and a lot of people around you are vibrating negative because really they dealing with some of the same stuff you dealing with on the inside. And now this coping mechanism has become a lifestyle. R. Kelly, you wanted to get out. Always trying to help people out. And it's those same ones trying to take food out my mouth. You spoke it, Pooh. You said all you need is a sign, a word from God, but you was vibrating so low, Pooh, that you couldn't hear and you couldn't see. You was vibrating so low that you couldn't hear and you couldn't see, and you said even when you tried to have a change of heart, that negativity, the people were still pulling you back in, just pulling you back in. And it hurts my heart, people. Despite everything that has come out, hell no, I'm not for R. Kelly, Robert, or no doggone body molesting children, abusing women. No, I'm not for it. Don't nobody get a pass. I'm a woman. But I'm also the same person who loved R. Kelly as long as I could remember. As long as I could remember. I mean, publicly loved him, okay? At one of my baby showers, we was playing Who Knows Mel Best? And one of the questions was, who is Mel's favorite singer? And my grandmama hollered out, R. Kelly. She played so much. She couldn't help but learn the songs. So now that everything that hit the fan, I can't sit up here and say, oh, cast you to hell and I'm turning my back on you. I can't do that. That's not how I am as a person. If I tell you I love you and I rock with you, I love you. Now, I'm going to tell you when you're bogus. And goddamn it, Robert, I already told you you was bogus. We talked about that. Now you want to snitch and you want to do what you got to do what you got to do what you got to do. Because, see, you're not the head of this enterprise. So he definitely should not be taken away of being the boss of an organization when he's only a member. And when you look at the real ladder, he not even all the way up toward the top. So, no, he should not take the weight of being the boss for that. It's a lifestyle. They knew that the regular people was going to, have their qualms about it. That's why it was done in secrecy. That's why it was done in secrecy. But the streets was talking. People knew. People knew what was going on. And not to say that just because it's been going on, slavery been going on, they had to end. So does the abuse of women. So does the abuse of children. It has to end. It has to end. And I'm going to tell y'all later on about the downfall of betraying a woman. And it go all the way back from slavery. A lot of y'all men be thinking y'all be so smart on how to do a woman. You learn her to manipulate her. You learn her to control her. You learn her to use her. But you don't really learn her. And you don't really see her power. And when she decides that she love you, love herself more than she love you, you gonna see her power. So be careful, but we'll go into detail about that later on. But as I say, we all need healing in all areas of our lives. Some type of healing on some level. And no, you might not be the ones who are abusing children and women. And thank God for you. I do. I do. But you got something that you need to grow. You got something that you need to heal. And it's crazy. Because he just wanted to be loved. And he just wanted to be accepted. And one thing that I noticed that R. Kelly said in one of his interviews was he does what the music tells him to do. And I believe that. Because I used to listen to his music and it was just so beautiful. I'm like, at the time I didn't know God as Mama Daddy God. I'm like, God, his voice makes me think of you. It's so beautiful. His voice so beautiful. It makes me think of God. And then you learn the biblical stories and everything, and you know that Lucifer was the one who had the power over the music. And if y'all don't think this spiritual life is the head of the physical realm, baby. And during that interview, he said, it was an interview where he said he had a book that was coming out that was called R. Kelly, No Lanes. He said, the earth is my turf when it comes to this music. My grandmama say, just keep listening. Just keep listening. Stuff gonna start to come together. You don't know everything you need to know. I remember in one of the previous videos about the whole sexual abuse and everything, and what if somebody did this to his daughters, he said he'll kill them. And when they was describing the stuff, he said, that's Lucifer. I remember R. Kelly, I remember you said that's Lucifer. Now you said the earth is my turf when it comes to this music. Who you letting in, Pooh? Sometimes people feel like they have to make a deal with the devil, not realizing that because they are God's, it's already theirs. Now you done made this deal and you done messed up so many people's livelihoods. And you didn't even have to make the deal because Mama Daddy God had already gave it to you, babe. A demon does not direct a God. A God directs a demon. And when you enter into a ritual, and when you make a conscious decision to join and be led, I don't know if you realize that you are not giving this demon your God power pool. You done gave this demon authority over you when Jesus told you that you have authority over the demons. Well, one thing I can say about demons is that they are tenacious. Their work ethic is incredible. A1, I got to give it to them. Okay? They make the plan and they execute. All right. Objectively speaking, I must say that. But the power of God, there's some lessons to be learned here. There's some lessons to be learned here. We need to get rid of these one-sided relationships. There are people who are showing us where they stand with us, and we are rewarding this disloyalty with loyalty. And I have never seen that work out well. And I'm a person who believes in the impossible. I even believe that he could be a rehabilitated man. And that's only because I know that he still got a connection with Mama Daddy God. That one little speck of light in the midst of that darkness is still so much power in that little speck of light. You was telling us in your songs, he was telling us he wanted to get out. And that I wish, he looking up at the sky. He took them glasses off. He told his mom, I want out. I want out. Sometimes you may be willing to endure something or go through something to obtain something, but your soul is telling you this not us. Your soul is telling you this is not me. And you can only ignore that for so long before it's going to start to drag you crazy. Maybe we need to stop protecting people, but it's so crazy because a lot of the predators were once prey. But it's like, just, the law likes to know, do you know the difference between right and wrong? Like, okay, regardless of what you've been through, do you know that this was wrong? You knew that it was wrong when the person was doing this to you, right? Correct. So then you knew that you was wrong when you did it to somebody else. Correct. I am correct. Well, you said all you need is a sign or a word from God. A lot of times when we vibrating so low, we can't hear the words and we can't see the signs because we vibrating so low, Pooh. Because we vibrating so low. But I want to close with this quote from R. Kelly. And I want you to remember this. If Jesus can go through what he went through, who am I? We hope you enjoyed this interview. I hope that it made you think about some things. And I look forward to talking to you again on the next episode of the ChiLOVE Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. Hugs. Love.